It's time to take a look at what's happening around Wyoming. I'm Wendy Corr, bringing you headlines from the Cowboy State Daily newsroom for Wednesday, May 22nd. Although talk of a terrifying Grizzly tag team duo in Grand Teton National Park has been circulating on the internet, park officials say Sunday's mauling of a Massachusetts man was likely a mother grizzly defending her cub. And a bear expert also told Cowboy State Daily's Mark Hines that although to his knowledge there aren't any documented cases of two or more grizzlies attacking somebody at once, it's not completely impossible. But he says most grizzlies don't go around the woods looking for trouble.
It's usually unfortunate circumstances. They're surprised at close range. Not unusual. Mama bear wants to defend her cubs. That's usually how these things go. Bears aren't really a social animal, but he said it's not unknown for young subadult bears that have just kicked away from their mom. They might travel around in groups of two, but this was definitely a mother and at least one cub, which again, that fits the MO for grizzly bear attacks. It's just people in the wrong place at the wrong time.
The man is still hospitalized in stable condition. A Gillette woman is accused of flying into a rage and ramming her vehicle into the car of her boyfriend's mistress, all while doing a DoorDash delivery to the mistress. While reflecting on the charge of felony property destruction she now faces in Campbell County District Court, Amber Osborne told Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland that she admits her actions were wrong.
And she just said, "I'm sorry for my actions. I regret doing that. We took a break and he hooked up with this other girl, and then she and I were texting about it. And then, according to Miss Osborne, the other woman said something to the effect of, DoorDash a soda for me," because Osborne's a DoorDash driver. And so the way she later described it to the investigator was, I kind of saw red and went over there knowing I was going to do something and ended up crashing into the car.
Although Cowboy State Daily has learned the identity of the other woman, she hasn't been charged in this case and could not be reached for comment by publication time. The entire nation is experiencing unprecedented growth in demand for electricity, with Wyoming displaying some challenges of its own, as is evidenced by construction of mammoth-sized data centers encircling its capital city. U.S. Senator John Barrasso told energy reporter Pat Mayo Tuesday that the amount of energy the country will need in 5 years is going to increase so much it'll be like adding a whole new California.
Senator Barrasso, like his colleagues on the committee, want to ensure that we have enough electricity to meet future demand. The Biden administration is attacking the coal and oil and gas industries by basically ending the coal by 2041. And the hearing is to kind of point out the dilemma there, and that, look, we don't have enough power. You can't be doing this kind of thing, shutting coal and oil and gas-fired plants down. You need to ensure the reliable sourcing of power. And that's going to be done through what we already have in our state, which is coal.
Barrasso said the U.S. could be entering a period of sustained demand growth unlike anything seen since the 2 decades following World War II. An Evansville man accused of killing another man during a drug deal gone bad argued he acted in self-defense and asked the judge to reduce the bond, which is currently set at $750,000. That's according to Cowboy State Daily's Dale Killingbeck.
His attorney asked the judge to reduce the bond and argued that he spent money on getting an attorney, he spent money on getting an expert witness for his trial, that he's not a threat to the community. This is a self-defense case. Then the district attorney stood up and said that he didn't really agree with that narrative because the suspect allegedly only had a job doing an Uber Eats delivery, and he didn't understand how someone with that kind of job could have nearly $500,000 worth of cash in a safe that was confiscated by police during the investigation.
Natrona County Chief Deputy District Attorney Blaine Nelson also argued against the self-defense claim, pointing out that the victim, Brandon Lopez, was shot squarely in his back. Two of the more prominent members of the Wyoming House, and in some ways longtime political rivals, State Representatives Mark Jennings and Barry Crago, will square off against each other for the state Senate. Even though they're both Republicans, they've been political rivals on many issues, according to politics reporter Leo Wolfson, with Jennings often taking the more conservative position.
Both Jennings and Crago are some of the more prominent known members of the House. Jennings has been in the House since 2015, and he's one of the original founders of the Wyoming Freedom Caucus. Crago has served 2 terms in the House, and he's one of the leading faces of the Wyoming Caucus, which is formed in opposition to the Freedom Caucus, a group of more moderate Republican legislators compared to the farther right Freedom Caucus.
There are already 2 Republican candidates who've officially announced plans to run for Jennings' seat, Thomas Kelly and Gail Simons.
Due to a bee colony forming on the protective netting behind home plate, we ask that you please be patient.
And the Phoenix-based pest control expert who grew up in Wyoming and saved a Major League Baseball game last month from a swarm of angry bees became the most famous guy in baseball for a few days. Now Cowboy State Daily's Jake Nichols reports that Buffalo native Matt Hilton's fame has been commemorated forever with his own personalized collector's edition bobblehead.
The bobblehead is being created by the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum. It's expected to be a collector's piece. It'll be available in November. This follows a Topps baseball card of the bee guy, which sold out in 24 hours, 17,000 baseball cards. So the Phoenix pest control guy, Matt Hilton, is living his 15 minutes of fame a little extra.
Since his game-saving play, Hilton has been interviewed by hundreds of national media outlets and was even offered the opportunity to become a cast member in a high-profile reality TV show. And that's today's news. Get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting the subscribe button on cowboystatedaily.com. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily.